So this month we are headed down to Manaus, Brazil to chase peacock bass and to hopefully catch an arapaima on the fly. We're working with a company that's based out of Brazil. They run an unbelievable trip. It goes Tuesday to Tuesday. It's on a mothership, 110 miles of private water. This is freshwater fishing. But we fly into Manaus, then we head out to the mothership. We're on the ship for 6 days fishing. Unbelievable accommodations, ACs in the room, double rooms, bathroom in each room. All the food and everything is taken care of by the staff. And then you're spending the day out catching peacock bass. Another type of trip where it's not if you will catch one, but how many you can catch in a day. And then we are gonna take some of our trip with the same outfit and try to check the box and get an arapaima on the fly. They are opening up to fly fishing. They've been based for decades in spin fishing. I'm headed down solo with a bunch of video gear, and we're gonna be taking a ton of content and trying to catch this arapaima on the fly, as well as a ton of peacock bass and a bunch of stuff about Brazil. But we are opening and working with Hooked on Adventures to book trips for them. So if you are a group and you wanna go down to Brazil, it is very cost effective. Go ahead and contact us through the comments, through our website, however you'd like. We'd love to talk to you about getting down there. But this video, as talked about, is the second part in the series, and it's about fly gear and packing your fly gear to travel. Whether I'm traveling international or national, flying to California to go fish, headed down to Florida to go fish, Louisiana, if I'm going international anywhere else, this is what I take, this is what I use. And I've ironed it out over the past couple of years, but I will say that along with a lot of the people that I travel with and fly with, I think it's one of the easiest ways to make sure you have everything. Along with other sports, there are certain things that when you show up to your destination, you have to have, which means you probably don't want to check it under the plane because there is a possibility that you may not have it when you get to your destination. And first and foremost, we're going to talk about the bag itself. There are many options out there, and these are my opinions, so feel free to check out all kinds of different bags. I don't work with a tube because I like to carry more stuff that will not fit in a tube. There are roll-up bags, there are tube bags, there are huge tubes. There are people that take their normal fly tubes that they get their fly rod with and band them together. I myself found a great deal on this TFO bag. I've been using it for a while, and I love it. And the two big things to me is the fact that it has enough storage and compartments, and also it qualifies as a carry-on bag. So some of the ones that you get are maybe too big or too wide and do not constitute as a carry-on bag. So make sure that whatever airline that you like flying with, they have dimensions on what a carry-on is. This TFO works great on United and also on Southwest, and you're able to carry it on. And that it is carrying on, you can also put stuff in it that isn't just for fly fishing, for your trip there and for your trip back. But first and foremost, compartments. It's got a bunch of different ways. They're all little Velcro pieces. You can move it around. You can change it to your specifications. I like to keep the rods in the bottom, and I keep a bunch of other stuff in these compartments that we're gonna go over in this video. But that would be the first thing, is depending on if you are a tube and rod only person, or if you want some sort of aspect that carries more than that. When I show up at a destination, I wanna have everything that I can possible. The only thing I don't have with me will be the hooks or flies that I have, because you can't take those on the plane. So those are always checked in my luggage. It also allows me to have a carry-on that gives me more room in my luggage that I check, and also a little bit more room in my backpack. When you're packing a rod tube or some sort of roll-up, you still have to carry all of this other stuff somehow, whether it's in your checked luggage or in your backpack. It all has to come if that's what you're gonna bring. So first and foremost, we talked about the bag. Go out and check out all the different bags. This TFO Signature Series has been amazing. I was able to find it on sale on Amazon, so it was super cheap. Go down to your local fly shop, check out what they have, and make sure you get something that fits what you need. I love having this because I have yet to overpack it. I have never ran out of room with it, and I've traveled for 6 to 7 day trips out of the country and weekend trips anywhere in the US that I try to go fish. So we talked about rods and where they go. With this bag, I'm able to not use rod tubes. So I just take my rods and alternate the handles and cork on each side, and I put them in there. Now, this allows for a little bit of room on top of those rods in case you want to pack something else. Sometimes I may put some snacks and other things in there. I may put something within this list of stuff we're going to go over. I don't mind having stuff on the rod. The top of the bag is going to keep it secure. The rods are all separated within their little sleeves, and they're ready to go. Next part obviously is going to be my reels. So I want to make sure I can get my reels in everywhere that I need to go. So we got reels in there now. I usually bring one reel per rod, but I like to bring extra lines. All of the companies that you talk to will talk about the fact that you may break a line, so you may want to have a backup. I tend to bring a backup line for whatever rod I feel like I'm going to use the most. So on this trip to Brazil, I'm bringing a 9, a 10, and a 12 weight. The 9 and 10 are for the peacock bass and daily use. Technically, the 9 is what I'm going to be using all the time. The 10 is going to be a backup to that 9. And then the 12 is going to be for this arapaima hunt. But if the 12 was to break or if something happens, again, the 10 comes into play that it could be a backup or be used. So you want to try to have a great setup of plan A on what you're going to use for what fish. But when you're in the middle of the Amazon, on a boat, on a river, hours away from anywhere else, you need to have anything else that may happen or may work. So those are my plan A's and my plan B's. And being that, now we have to talk about the lines. There's lines on the reels. So I have a rod, a reel, and a line already in the bag, and we still have tons of room to go. Next, we're gonna throw in an extra line for the 9 weight. So I'll take that. I like to keep it in the box, keep it all marked up, and it's gonna go in there, and that'll be done. So now I got a spare line, rods, reels, and for the sake of this one, let's throw another 10 line in there just to be safe. You know, if the 9 goes down or the 12 goes down and you gotta use the 10 more, we wanna have a backup for the 10 as well. So we'll put those in there too. I also like to carry a ton of leaders. So freshwater and saltwater leaders. I carry all of these just to have extra ones on top of the fact that we're gonna get into tippet and everything else. So we're gonna put those in there. Now, I bring a whole big wad of 12, 16, 20, 25, 30, and then I even get into 40 and 80s. So I have all kinds of different weights that I could use to make leaders. And if necessary, also I buy them so that I could use them to make pieces of other things if needed. But if you have leaders that are already ready to go, most of the guides that you work with will ask you for that. And while you're fishing, they're gonna be setting up something else with those leaders. Or you can hand them a spool and say, use whatever you'd like. Many of the guides and anywhere that you go, if you're DIY, you're on your own. But if you are working with guides, they're gonna have a whole line of everything too that they can make stuff on the go or bite leaders for anything with the predatory fish, much like what you're gonna see in our next video and next month when we go to Argentina again for Golden Dorado. So put this in, let's put a 30 and a 40 in as well. So we got a 30 and a 40, everything else, we got our extra lines. I like to throw the stripping gloves in there just to make sure I have them somewhere that's easy to get to, keeps all the fishing stuff together. If you are gonna be bringing your own nippers or pliers or clippers, I usually bring a set just to be safe. I've never gotten on a boat that hasn't had multiple of these on there, but just in the need, I bring that as well, goes in there. LidRig nippers, I always carry these just so I can have them around my neck and real quick access on anything else that I may need. Now this bag has a place for sunglasses and a little camera and another pouch that I usually leave open for non-fishing stuff. But I like to carry multiple sets of glasses. I talked about it in my last video about what you're gonna bring on your carry-on, but I like to put these in this. It makes it easy and accessible. I usually wear a pair of sunglasses while I'm in the airport and the plane and etc. I have, you know, a highlight one that's out, an everyday wear, and then my low light glasses and an extra pair of backup glasses just to be safe are gonna be in this as well. So currently, I think I have everything that I would need other than my flies to go fish. There are tons of other things that you could be putting in here as well. Sometimes I put a book in this pocket, so I have another aspect when I'm taking it around in the airports. But as of right now, you can see the bag is full. It has everything that I need for the whole week. And it's gonna be an easy way that when you're traveling through the airports and getting to your destination, you have what you need. There's no chance that a reel goes missing because my checked luggage goes missing. There's nothing that means, oh, I didn't pack it in that bag and it's in this bag. I will say that I have been on trips with a lot of people that have forgotten something. And this bag has come in real clutch because I have an extra reel, or I have an extra line, or I have something that they don't have. Or if I was to run out of 16-pound tippet, a buddy of mine that's fishing with me as well has an extra 16-pound tippet, or has a bit that I can use with it. The other thing that does go well in this that I don't have in the video is if you have a rain jacket that, you know, goes into a pouch or into one of its pockets, you can put that in here as well. So you could have a rain jacket in along with some other stuff. I do use this to carry some electrolyte packages and some of the stuff in the backpacking video. I will spread that in, and I'll most likely fill this bag up first to the brim, and then I'll have extra room in that backpack for stuff that may be a little bit more bulky or won't fit as easy, like camera gear. I tend to put a lot of the fishing and extra stuff that I have in here, and then any camera gear that I would be bringing, camera, tripod, etc., would then go into that backpack that I talked about before. But that's pretty simple. The only other thing, it's probably well known and people do it all the time, but make sure you have a clear and legible luggage tag on there somewhere. I know how much it costs to go to the fly shop just to buy flies, and I think all of you are looking at that bag, knowing what the value of the bag is. Make sure there's an easy way to let you know if you forgot it in a bathroom, or if you left it at a gate, or if you got on the plane and put it somewhere, and etc. I always make sure that my luggage tags are legible and clean and easy to read. And other than that, I'm ready to go now. I'm stoked to be getting down to Brazil, and hopefully we can get this Arapaima checked off the box, and you'll be seeing a video of that too. But if you have questions, drop them in the comments. If there's something that I forgot for fishing and you know what it is, drop it in the comments. And if you'd like to talk about Brazil and getting you and your buddies out to go fishing for peacock bass and Arapaima, we'd love to talk to you about it. We have a bunch of awesome options. Any of the dates that you're looking for, we can start to talk about for 24, and we're also already working on 2025. So that's it, guys. Tight lines. Hope everybody had an unbelievable new year. And part 3 of the series with checked luggage is going to be coming later this month. But thanks for checking it out. Like, subscribe, comment, tell your buddies to check out the video when you can. Share it if you want to. And check out moccasinflyclub.com when you got a second.